Okay. This section is also included, so we'll mark this off. And this one too. There we go. So these are the main areas that will be covered in your next exam. It looks like your professor noted down all the topics that it will be pulling from, so right now I'm just noting down the chapters of your textbook that we will be going through. Oh, sure. Let me move my chair a little closer to you so you can see it better. It's probably a good idea to work like this anyway, so that we can keep our voices down. I'd prefer not to disturb the other people studying and working around us. You know, I've actually never done this in the library before, so that didn't occur to me until now. Well, I've tutored people, but I usually manage to secure a study room. But for some reason it's... Hold on. For some reason it's very much packed today, conveniently. Yeah, I've been working as a tutor for a little over a year now. I've helped friends here and there before, so I had some experience teaching prior to this. And, well, I saw that there was an official program managed by the university that was hiring, so I thought, why not? And, well, here I am. It's comfortable work, and I don't have to leave campus, so can't really complain. But yeah, I'm not used to doing this in the library, though. Whenever I am here, I'm usually just studying by myself. Right, so, as I was saying, we should have just enough time if you divide the sections up like this. And we'll work our way from the top to make sure that you thoroughly understand all the material. Does that sound good to you? Hey, what are you looking at me for? Let's focus and pay attention to the notes in front of you. Good. Now, I don't exactly condone teaching to the test, but given that you're short on time before your exam, we don't really have much of a choice today. But next time, on the exam after, I want you to make sure to come by the tutoring center to get an early start. Believe me, you'll have a much better understanding of the material if you don't force yourself to learn everything all at once. So, let's start here, if you're ready. My handwriting? Thanks. I end up having to take a lot of notes for my classes, so I guess I've had practice through that. Your handwriting is very nice as well. I think there's a charm to it. Really, I like it. But let's focus. I have a busy schedule, and I know you're in a rush as well, so I'm sure neither of us wants to waste time getting sidetracked. Good. Now, why don't you go ahead and skim over this page first for me, and then it'll be a good idea to tackle the areas that you're struggling with the most. Read that for me. In your head or out loud works. I find that it's best to get the more difficult topics out of the way first, and then at the very end you can revisit the things you're already familiar with, just to make sure you don't miss anything. Yeah, sometimes people can end up wasting time going over the material that they already understand because it's, well, the most comfortable to them. So they end up getting a false sense of accomplishment when really they're not learning anything new, but they're just repeating information that they already know. Not the most productive use of time in scenarios like that. Oh, no, I mean in general. I have no idea what your study habits are like. I mean, we just met today, so... Sorry, I hope that didn't sound like I was making any assumptions about you. I know I can ramble on sometimes, so if you don't stop me... but you can tell me if you ever catch me doing that. No, it's completely fine with me. I know we're basically strangers still, but I'm giving you the okay to, if you ever need to bring me back on track. Because it's your time today. Huh? You don't mind hearing my talk, though? I'm not sure what that means, but thanks. This section? Okay, yeah, let's take a look at this then. Sorry. Got distracted for a second. Nothing, it's not important. So, this is discussing the concept of a person's total daily energy expenditure, or more commonly, this is shortened to TDEE. Alright. And this is a combination of a person's basal metabolic rate, or BMR for short, which will be calculated using this formula. The formula incorporates different factors like the person's age, weight, and height, in addition to a base number here. This is then multiplied by a ratio based on their physical activity factor, which is determined by, daily estimated activity. And this factor goes up the higher a person's daily activity level is. And you take this and this, these two together, and that gives you their TDEE. Does that make sense so far? Right, so, it's like energy used each day. Each person is unique, so this is just a general approximation. Of course, there can be more accurate ways to track this for an individual, but this is, well, you can think of it as a compromise, you could say. That provides you with an estimation you can do easily without needing too much data or testing. Got that? Alright, very good. That's what I want to hear. You think it's because I'm a good tutor? Thanks. I wasn't too sure if that was the case at first because you seemed kind of quiet through all of that, so I thought maybe you were feeling distracted. Yeah, I was perhaps getting a little worried about the effectiveness of my teaching methodology, so it's reassuring to hear. You want a second session already? Yeah, we could make arrangements for something like that. I wouldn't mind doing another tutoring session with you. Hopefully we can get a study room next time so we don't have to worry about disturbing others. For now though, let's focus on working through our first time together. Like our first study session together. Yeah, let's try some examples as practice now, since these types of questions will basically ask you to do some calculations afterward. So, here's what I'm thinking we're gonna be doing for the rest of our time together today. I will briefly touch on each section, and you let me know if it's already familiar to you or if it's something you need clarification with. And if it's the latter, then we will block out some time to study the concepts. After that, we will make use of some of these example questions.